Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Adibah binti Aminuddin. Today my group and I are going to present 6 articles that can be related with Chapter 3 in SMG 606, Ethic and Policy that are titled Developing a Consistent Game Plan for Moral Reasoning. For my first article, it is from Euronews titled Coronavirus That Is More Lives. Say football player in Turkey upset matches haven't been cancelled. After all matches have been cancelled all over the world due to pandemic COVID-19, Nihat Özdemir, president of Turkish Football Federation (TFF), stated that all the football matches would be resumed without the appearance of spectators. The federation said that the decision has been taken with the advice of senior representatives of scientific board and ministries. In contrast, the decision received some backlash from high-profile football players that involved in the matches. This is because Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkish president, has mentioned that to avoid any virus infected, all civilians need to avoid going to public unless it's really necessary to do so. To solve each of the problem arise, fairness is one of the elements that contained in step thinking through the moral problem. Whenever someone in a meeting or association want to make a decision in this current situation, they need to consider those steps to achieve the best decision. According to the article, the federation want to resume the game within the closed door despite of the current condition. It could be the most deadly decision that have been made and not even fair to the player and crew that involved in the game. World Health Organization WHO released a statement saying that virus could be transmitted via droplet, aerosolized transmission, and surface transmission. Furthermore, it is not guaranteed that all the player or crew that involved during the game are completely free from the virus. There is possibility one of them are asymptomatic carrier and accidentally spread the virus to the other without their realizing it. The federation need to redecide again about their decision and view it from a different type of perspective. Nowadays, only hygiene and social distancing is the best approach to protect people from the outbreak since the cure have yet to be found. Football is a sport that often have body contact during the game in terms of defending and attacking. And if the federation want to apply the social distancing rule, how the player going to play anyway? Next, the federation needs to respect and treat the player the way they want to be treated. For sure, if they are in the same place as the player did, they would be angry if they are forced to be work in a situation that going to be harm to them. As a conclusion for this article, the federation seems to be violated the moral principle in this current situation. They are more concerned about the game rather than welfare of the player who might be affected by the virus. The federation should take a deep look into this matter to avoid any life-threatening situation among the player and crew from occur. For the second article, it is about the Malaysia Football League agree over 5 substitute ruling. This article was discussing about changes of rule that voiced out by Malaysia Football League due to the outbreak of COVID-19 in Malaysia recently. The Football Association Board, IFAB, received a proposal from Malaysia Football League to allow only 5 substitute players involved in game that going to be resumed in upcoming month. The IFAB agree with the rule changes in order to protect the welfare of the player during the game. On the other hand, it is still depending on federal government to decide either the Malaysia League can be resuming this September or not. For sure, their decision would be influenced by the current situation of COVID-19 outbreak in Malaysia on that time. The new ruling in game will be implemented right after the Malaysia League restart again. In a recent article, it shown that authorities tried to find the fair solution and arbitrate from various angles and parties involved in Malaysia League. This article situation can be related with few points in Chapter 3, developing a consistent game plan for moral reasoning in subtopic step that used in thinking in moral reasoning. Numerous morals are portrayed by principles that have been set up earlier. All of these rules govern all the behavior in sports setting. This is because rule is being made to guide the players and coach in order to ensure the welfare and to control the situation during the game. Some rules might have some exception. However, the exception need to be justified in order to be accepted. To make a new rule that going to be applied in the game, the rule creator need to know either the rule is really justified or not. In this article, Malaysia League authorities really look into the matter that occurred and try to find the best solution. Sometimes, rules are immoral, where it may bring the harm and unfair to some parties or maybe the whole community that affected. If the rule have been made violated one of the moral principles that have been standardized, the community, player, coach or other staff that involved have right to voice out their dissatisfaction toward this matter.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Today I would like to say about the first article, which is UFC 229 press conference. Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov trade barbs in explosive first meeting. Okay, the issue in this article is Conor McGregor. The issue was written by Brian Campbell. Okay, it was a review about UFC 229 press conference. Okay, firstly, for UFC 229, Conor McGregor famous for destroying his opponent's psychological status pre-fight, suddenly raises up his standards or his bar when Conor insults Khabib's religion, teammates and father. Okay, also the issue also stated that the heated argument between the players started off in April 2018 when Conor McGregor throws a dolly at Khabib's bus. Okay, so the first issue, this issue that can relate to chapter 3 is the first steps, which is thinking through a moral problem, which are fairness, integrity, responsibility and respect. Okay, firstly, Conor violates the component of the first step by showing unfairness by attacking Khabib's bus, which Khabib was not aware of that, so it is not unfair. If Conor wants to show fairness, at least he can do is wait for Khabib to step out of the bus and fight like a man. Okay, although it is not professional. Okay, and then as integrity, Conor should know better as a champion, as a two division champion. So when Conor insults Khabib in the pre-fight and illegally attacks Khabib, he shows lack of integrity, responsibility and respect as fighters, because he should know better that the way to solve things as a fighter is to fight. Okay, that's all. And then it is also related to fallacies, which is the appeal to force. Conor McGregor uses physical and psychological force to attack Khabib as a way to show, provocation prior to a fight, for him to challenge Khabib to a title fight. Okay, and then for the next article is Mark Lee slams national rugby coaches in letter of complaint. It was written by Farah Azhari. Okay, this article is about a former Malaysia Rugby 15's player who issued a complaint on Malaysia Rugby Union. In the letter of complaint, Mark Lee said that the coaches' lack of professionalism, togetherness, accountability and respect, and also he said that the coaches' lack of knowledge to plan programs, no communication between coaches and players, welfare of the players were disregarded, favoritism and inequality. Okay, it relates to step 1 and step 2 in developing a consistent game plan for moral reasoning. Okay, for the step 1, the coaches of the Malaysian Rugby Union shows unfairness, responsibility and respect. Okay, the fairness is the coaches are not fair in terms of treatments and monthly salary payments between foreign players and national players. Okay, obviously foreign players gets more when I said that, and national players get less. Then the treatment is the foreign players have alcohol prior to a game every night, and no disciplinary actions were taken. So it is not unfair, and it is not responsible, and respect. Okay, those two are shown when the players are not treated right. Okay, and then it relates to step 2, treat others the way you want to be treated and respect others. If the roles were reversed, the coaches are the players, the coaches wouldn't like it. Same like the players, same like Mark Lee. Respect others, obviously the coaches have not shown respect to the players. Okay, so Mark Lee issued a complaint. Alright, that is all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So the next article to be reviewed is Boys Are Boys and Girls Are Girls. Idaho is the first state to bar some transgender athletes. So the article written by Talia Minsberg is to tell about Idaho, which is the first state in United States to bar transgender athletes from participating in girls and women's sport, and to legalize the practice of asking girls and women to undergo sex testing in order to compete. The rule, which is known as the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, was signed by Gov. Brad Little. Even though there are many associations try to fight for the transgender right, supporters of Idaho law stated that they will not accept people that declare their identification different from their birth certificate. This means that if their birth certificate stated that they are male, they will fight against other male, and vice versa for the females. So the issues that related with the step 3, first steps that's related with this article is step 1, which stated that moral principles such as fairness, integrity, and respect. The act of banning transgender athletes from competing with different sexes is a great way to achieve fairness in sports. Despite great fights coming from associations that protect transgender rights, the act coming from Idaho is a great way to express the respect toward other athletes. So, the obstacles that related with the article is false obstruction of theory and practice. This refers to the people that have enough knowledge about certain theory that cause them to believe in wrong theory and practice in life. In this article, the obstacle can be seen through the transgender athlete and the association that supports the act to compete with different sex, as they have been implemented with the false theory and practice. Okay, next, for the fallacy that is related with the article is fallacy of authority. The fallacy of authority is the statement that is said by someone in authority in that matter. From the article, the act taken from Idaho to ban transgender athlete from participating was signed by Gov. Brad Little, which has shown that Gov. Brad Little has the authority to do so. So to summarize the article, allowing transgender athletes to compete in sports which are different category than their birth certificate is an immoral act, as it is not fair for the athletes. So for the next article to be reviewed is time for Malaysian sports to break free from power-greedy sport administrators and leaders. The articles written by Tony Mariadas is to tell about the lack of fairness coming from politicians that have personal agendas and use sport as a platform to elevate themselves to position of power and reach. This issue has been along for a long time. Some politicians get the power to manage sport association in Malaysia, but they did not use it to enhance the performance and achievement of athletes, rather using the power for their importance. So, the issues that are related to this article for the steps is step 2, which stated that person must tell the truth, keep your promise, and do not cheat, are being violated by the politician. This was shown as they did not use the power that they possess to enhance the sport performance and achievement of Malaysian athletes. Next, for the obstacle that related with this article is skepticism, which refer to the person has collection of views that deny or raise doubt about choosing the right decision. In this article, the obstacle can be applied to the politician as they cannot think wisely either their act is right or wrong. And for the fallacies that are related with this article is misplaced and improperly placed authority. This fallacy refers to people are more likely to believe the statement made by those with high position. This means that if the authority was given to the wrong person, then it could affect the whole association. In this article, the politician have the power to choose and manage the association according to his personal interest, even though some of their decisions could affect our country achievement in sports. To summarize, People that have been given the power to manage association should be honest and highly trustworthy in order to make sure the objective of the association is fulfilled.